Ladies and gentlemen, the difference between living an ordinary life and living a victorious one comes down to one word: boldness. Every dream you've ever had, every opportunity you've ever wanted, and every victory you've ever imagined is waiting on the other side of fear. Yet most people hesitate, they play it safe, and they watch life pass them by. But not you, not today. Because today, I'm going to show you how to move boldly, claim your power, and win in everything you set your mind to. Clarity is the foundation of boldness, and without it, confidence crumbles under the weight of uncertainty. When you know who you are and what you want, you walk into any room with a presence that cannot be ignored. People are drawn to those who radiate certainty because certainty is rare in a world full of hesitation. The bold are not reckless. They are guided by focus and vision. Every great achievement begins with a clear picture in the mind before it ever becomes a reality. When you move boldly with clarity, obstacles shrink because you can see beyond them. The timid hesitate because they are clouded by doubt, but the bold move forward because their vision gives them strength. Winning is not a matter of luck, but a matter of direction. A ship with no compass drifts endlessly, but a ship with clarity reaches its destination. Boldness backed by clarity is an unstoppable force that turns potential into power. Most people never win because they lack a clear sense of purpose. And without purpose, boldness feels impossible. You cannot move with confidence if you do not know what you are moving toward. Clarity simplifies the chaos of choices and decisions, allowing you to focus on what truly matters. The moment you define your vision, boldness takes root and courage becomes second nature. A clear goal eliminates hesitation because it creates a compelling reason to act. When you niche out your why, you stop second guessing and start executing. The timid wait for external approval, but the bold draw their confidence from an internal compass. Every time you define your direction, you strengthen your belief in yourself. Winning requires more than talent. It requires certainty of purpose. And that certainty is born only when clarity guides your steps. When you choose courage over comfort, you become a magnet for opportunity. People are drawn to bold leaders because boldness breeds certainty, and certainty creates trust. In moments of doubt, the one who acts with courage becomes the one who sets the tone for others. Boldness inspires while hesitation paralyzes. The timid stand at the edge of the cliff analyzing every risk, while the bold take the leap and discover wings on the way down. There will always be challenges, but challenges are not walls meant to stop you. They are doors meant to test your strength. The bold do not fear failure because they understand it is part of the journey to success. Comfort zones may feel safe, but they rob you of the chance to grow into the person you were created to be. Every victory you desire lies on the other side of fear. When you dare to move boldly, you give yourself permission to experience the fullness of life. Boldness is the spark that ignites hidden talents and awakens dormant dreams. Many people live with unfulfilled potential, not because they lacked ability, but because they lacked courage. They allowed fear of rejection, fear of failure, or fear of judgment to silence their voice. But the truth is, boldness silences fear the moment you act. Courage over comfort means standing tall when your knees are shaking, speaking up when your voice trembles, and moving forward when uncertainty clouds your path. Each time you choose boldness, you reprogram your mind to believe that you are capable of more. With every bold step, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than the obstacles in front of you. Eventually, boldness becomes a lifestyle and winning becomes a habit. Courage is the foundation upon which resilience is built. Every act of boldness strengthens your mental and emotional muscles. When you face challenges with courage, you no longer see them as barriers, but as opportunities to grow. Comfort does not prepare you for life's battles, but courage does. It sharpens your focus, expands your vision, and empowers your spirit. With courage, even small steps become significant because they move you beyond hesitation. The timid fear rejection, but the bold know that rejection is simply redirection. Every no is not a setback, but a setup for a better opportunity. Boldness transforms obstacles into stepping stones and losses into lessons. The world belongs to those who dare, not to those who wait. To win in everything, you must choose courage as your weapon and boldness as your shield. Only then can you rise above fear and claim the victories waiting for you. Every great leader, innovator, and achiever has shared one common trait: unshakable boldness. They understood that comfort never creates history, but courage always does. The bold leave legacies that outlive them because their courage sparks change that ripples across generations. When you move boldly, you are not just changing your life, you are influencing the lives of those around you. Your courage gives others permission to find their own. One bold decision has the power to shift entire destinies. Imagine the possibilities if you lived each day with boldness as your default setting. Imagine the victories waiting if you silenced hesitation and replaced it with decisive action. Courage over comfort is not a one-time choice, it is a daily commitment. And with every day you choose it, you move closer to a life of extraordinary impact. Boldness demands faith in yourself, in your vision, and in the process. You will never have all the answers, but you do not need them to take two. First step. The timid wait for certainty, but certainty is born from action. Clarity comes when you move boldly toward your goals. Faith without boldness is empty, but boldness backed by faith is unstoppable. To move boldly is to trust that you have within you everything required to win. Even when resources are limited, boldness creates opportunities to find solutions. Even when the path seems unclear, boldness reveals the next step. Life rewards those who act, not those who wait. And with every act of courage, you align yourself with the victories that are already written for you. Winning requires risk, but boldness transforms risk into reward. Fear is temporary, but regret is permanent. Every time you choose comfort over courage, you strengthen fear's grip on your life. But every time you choose boldness, fear loses its power. It is a daily battle, but one that you win with decisive action. Do not let fear convince you that safety equals success. Safety keeps you still. Boldness moves you forward. To live boldly is to embrace the unknown, to chase dreams bigger than yourself, and to believe that winning is not just possible, but inevitable. The timid hope for victory, but the bold claim it. Your future is not waiting for hesitation. It is waiting for courage. Each moment you choose boldness, you take control of your destiny. And with consistent, bold action, you will not just participate in life, you will win in everything. The difference between living and truly thriving lies in one decision: to move boldly. Comfort zones may offer rest, but they will never offer reward. Courage is the compass that points you toward your destiny, and boldness is the vehicle that takes you there. Winning in everything is not about luck or chance. It is about relentless boldness in pursuit of your goals. The timid wish for change, but the bold create it. Life is short and opportunity ties are fleeting. Boldness ensures that you never waste a single moment on fear or hesitation. Every bold step you take is a declaration that you are alive. Clarity is the foundation of boldness, and without it, confidence crumbles under the weight of uncertainty. When you know who you are and what you want, you walk into any room with a presence that cannot be ignored. People are drawn to those who radiate certainty, because certainty is rare in a world full of hesitation. The bold are not reckless, they are guided by focus and vision. Every great achievement begins with a clear picture in the mind before it ever becomes a reality. When you move boldly with clarity, obstacles shrink because you can see beyond them. The timid hesitate because they are clouded by doubt, but the bold move forward because their vision gives them strength. Winning is not a matter of luck, but a matter of direction. A ship with no compass drifts endlessly, but a ship with clarity reaches its destination. Boldness backed by clarity is an unstoppable force that turns potential into power. Most people never win because they lack a clear sense of purpose, and without purpose, boldness feels impossible. You cannot move with confidence if you do not know what you are moving toward. Clarity simplifies the chaos of choices and decisions, allowing you to focus on what truly matters. The moment you define your vision, boldness takes root and courage becomes second nature. A clear goal eliminates hesitation because it creates a compelling reason to act. When you know your why, you stop second guessing and start executing. The timid wait for external approval, but the bold draw their confidence from an internal compass. Every time you define your direction, you strengthen your belief in yourself. Winning requires more than talent. It requires certainty of purpose, and that certainty is born only when clarity guides your steps. Clarity transforms boldness into precision, making your actions sharper and more impactful. Without clarity, bold moves can become scattered and ineffective, but with it, every step is aligned with your greater purpose. Think of it like light. Unfocused light glows dimly, but focused light becomes a laser that cuts through steel. In the same way, clarity transforms effort into power that produces results. The timid waste energy chasing distractions, but the bold conserve energy by staying aligned with their vision. Confidence comes from knowing that every action you take is moving you closer to your destination. Boldness without clarity risks recklessness, but boldness with clarity guarantees progress. The moment you define where you are going, your movements take on a new intensity. Success is no longer about chance, but about calculated determination. Winners are not simply bold, they are boldly clear about their mission. When clarity fuels confidence, you begin to see opportunities that others overlook. What seems impossible to the doubtful becomes achievable to the focused. Clarity sharpens your vision, so while others see obstacles, you see stepping stones. The timid are distracted by noise, but the bold are anchored by purpose. Clarity gives you the ability to filter out what doesn't matter and double down on what does. This focus makes your boldness sustainable because your energy is not wasted on trivial pursuits. Every great invention, every great movement, and every great success story began with someone bold enough to define their vision clearly. Confidence is not arrogance. It is the natural byproduct of clarity. You no longer doubt your worth because you know your mission. And when you carry yourself with that kind of certainty, the world cannot help but pay attention. The bold understand that clarity does not come overnight, but through deliberate reflection and decision. They invest time in knowing their values, defining their goals, and setting their priorities. This clarity allows them to move forward when others remain paralyzed by indecision. The timid often get stuck because they want everything to be perfect before they start. To live boldly and win in everything, clarity must be a daily practice. It is not something you find once and keep forever. It must be renewed and sharpened constantly. The bold begin their days with clarity, reviewing their goals and reminding themselves of their purpose. This daily alignment fuels confidence and prepares them for bold action. The timid wake up reactive, allowing the world to dictate their direction, but the bold live proactive, guided by clarity. Every day becomes a chance to reinforce confidence through focused action. With clarity, boldness is no longer a struggle. It becomes natural. And when boldness becomes natural, winning becomes inevitable. Clarity is the map, confidence is the fuel, and boldness is the vehicle that drives you to victory. Without clarity, boldness fades, but with it, boldness becomes unstoppable. The truth is simple. Clarity creates confidence, and confidence sustains boldness. Without clarity, boldness is short-lived, but with it, boldness transforms into a lifestyle. When you live with vision, you inspire trust, you command respect, and you open doors that confusion could never unlock. The timid wait for clarity to appear, but the bold create it through reflection, focus, and relentless pursuit of their goals. Winning in life is not about being fearless, but about being clear and moving forward boldly despite fear. When you align your vision with decisive action, you step into a level of confidence that cannot be shaken. This is how you move boldly and win in everything, by knowing where you are going, believing in it with unshakable confidence, and pursuing it with relentless clarity. Dreams remain nothing more than ideas until bold action breathes life into them. Potential is a seed, but action is the water and sunlight that makes it grow. So many people wait for the perfect moment, but perfection is an illusion that keeps them stuck. The bold do not wait. They move even when conditions are not ideal. Every great accomplishment in history started with a single act of courage, not with endless planning. Action is the bridge between desire and reality, and boldness is what gives that action its power. The timid hope, but the bold do. The timid talk, but the bold act. Winning is not reserved for those who wish, but for those who work with fearless determination. Action is the ultimate proof of belief, and bold action transforms belief into victory. When boldness meets vision, transformation becomes inevitable. Vision by itself is a dream, but action makes it a destiny. The timid allow fear of failure to freeze them, but the bold understand that inaction is the only true failure. Every step taken in boldness, even a small one, builds momentum that compounds over time. Momentum is a force that multiplies, and it cannot be created by hesitation. Bold action unlocks opportunities that waiting could never reveal. Each bold move becomes a stepping stone to the next, and soon the path to success is paved with decisive action. Dreams without action become regret, but dreams with boldness become legacies. The world does not remember the hesitant, it remembers the doers. To win in everything, you must act boldly and refuse to let fear hold the pen that writes your story. Action transforms fear into strength. The timid believe they must wait until fear disappears, but the bold know that fear only weakens when faced head on. Each bold step reduces the power of fear, proving that courage grows through action, not before it. Confidence does not precede action. Confidence is created by it. The timid wait to feel ready, but readiness is a myth that never arrives. The bold step forward unprepared, and in doing so, they become prepared. Every act of boldness builds resilience. Every risk taken strength ends resolve. Winning requires risks, and risks require boldness. Fear whispers lies that say you are not capable, but boldness proves fear wrong through action.